nice deep breath in. Let it out with the sigh. And as you begin to settle in, just notice what's happening in the body. Notice if you have tension or resistance. Maybe do a little exploration with a little movement. Move your neck a little, your shoulders, and through the waist. And as you're wiggling around, notice where you're meeting resistance and just lean into it and bring your breath. And then move on and begin to stack your spine one vertebrae at a time. Drawing up nice and long through the crown, dropping out of the shoulders, taking a nice deep inhale in. Let it out with a big sigh. And begin to bring in 3-part breath. Inhaling to the bottom of the lungs, the center, all the way to the top. Pause and exhale from the top to the center, all the way down. Beginning again, inhaling, 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 exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. And now we're going to add a pause on the top of the inhale. So inhale for 3, pause for 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 3, 2, 1, and pause. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do 5 more rounds. Stay with the count. Three more. And 1 more all the way through. Let's do 1 more for good measure, just because I may not be able to count. Because 4-part breath feels really good. It's almost like walking around the block. And on the next inhale, return to normal breath, inhaling. Exhaling. We're going to bring seated cat-cow into this, inhaling through the heart. Exhaling, releasing back. Inhaling through the heart into cow. Exhaling into that, the back body. So today we're going to really work with the spine and with the pelvic floor. So it's really important to keep a nice supple spine so that we don't allow gravity to win this experience on earth, drawing us over. And so with a nice supple spine, then we can be able to stoop and bend, but yet stand up tall. 1 more, inhaling up. Exhaling back. We're gonna inhale back into a nice tall seated posture, inhaling our hands up overhead. Exhaling, taking it all the way to the right. Really reach it over. Anchor that hip down and then spin the heart open. Let this be just a little twist. Inhaling, exhaling, breathing into it. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling all the way the other direction. Reaching over, spinning that heart open, breathing into it. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Feel that opening in the side body. Inhaling right back to center, exhaling the hands down. We're going to move right into tabletop. Find your best table, hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Lengthen through the crown. Imagine that I'm coming around and putting my hands around your waist and drawing that in. And then begin to drop down, inhaling down, exhaling up. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Bring that three-part in. So as you inhale, inhale, really filling the lungs. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. And again, inhaling, exhaling, exhaling. And then coming right back into tabletop, nice and long. Begin to circle around the wrists and the knees, just opening the joints a little bit, giving yourself a little bit of space. Noticing what's happening in that pelvic floor. Is it hanging out like a hammock in the breeze? What would it feel like just to ever so slightly engage it? Draw that belly button up to the spine. So when we engage our pelvic floor, it's just a little teeny kegel with a lift through the belly button to the spine, and then reverse, go the other direction, circling around, feeling the joints beginning to open. Nicely done. 2 more breaths. 2 more circles, last circle, actually. And then begin to walk the hands back towards your knees, walking yourself up to standing on your knees, right here. Hands come onto your waist, and we're going to inhale, exhale, draw belly button in, and then inhale, coming out. And then let's begin to add the arms. Exhale, out. Inhale, open the heart wide. Exhale, out. Inhaling. So really important here as you move into that back bend that you engage that pelvic floor. I might have you guys going backwards. As you inhale, open your heart. Exhale, going back. Inhale, opening your heart. Yes, that feels so much better. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw it in. This time, inhale, circle those arms all the way up and around, bringing them down to your side. We're preparing for camel. So let's just do a kneeling mountain pose. So we're kneeling, our feet are directly behind us. Take a look and make sure that your legs are directly underneath your hip points. So your hip points are the bony part of the front of your legs. Front of your hips. Slide that tailbone down, bring that belly button back. So this alone, this movement right here of supporting the pelvis without engaging the hips is a powerful grounding movement. Feel the energy go down your legs, bringing your hands down, Inhaling your hands all the way up. Exhaling them down. We're just going to do sun arms standing here. Really working with that pelvic floor, belly button into your spine. Make sure that you're avoiding to grab onto your glutes, because that's what I want to do. I keep wanting to grab my behind. And I don't mean with my hands, I mean with the muscles. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. This time we're going to inhale our arms straight up, circling that left arm around, bringing it around onto your hip. Then the right hand comes across the body, circling around, coming right into the beginning phase of camel. So right here, before we go any deeper, check in. Pelvic floor is drawing up, belly button's drawing back, heart is lifting, shoulders are down, going long in your crown. So right here, this is level 1. Now, from level 1, you can deepen this as if you're going to touch the wall in front of you with the fronts of your legs. And then let the tip happen by lifting through the heart. Yes. Nicely done. Find your breath. Nice. Inhale, leading with the heart coming up. We're going to dive straight forward. Let those hands slide down your backside and around and coming out in front of you. Not moving the knees. Just fold over the knees. Find your breath. Let that forehead touch your mat. And if you're not comfortable with your forehead touching your mat, you can always step your hands, but really allow the forehead to touch something. The forehead is where the third eye is. This is the 6th chakra. The 6th chakra is our thinking mind. It's our knowledge. This is where our wisdom comes in. And a lot of times it is very overactive in the process of the brain. What would happen if that monkey mind moved to the back of the room and the third eye opened, poured all the little jiggly nonsense stuff the monkey has to offer out? Can you feel that? Just imagine you're dumping out the trash. And then feel that third eye remain open and allow the wisdom of the earth to come up into that third eye. Sometimes there's lots of information. Sometimes there's nothing. The difference is when the monkey chatters versus when the witness allows to watch what happens. Just notice. One more breath. Inhaling, let those hands come out in front of you. Rising back up into tabletop. We're going to do 3 cat-cows. Inhaling, dropping down. Exhaling out. Inhaling, dropping down. Exhaling out. One more. Inhaling, dropping down. Exhaling out. Walk those hands back while you're in cat, walking up. Inhaling, right arm over this time, circling it around. Coming back into camel, circling it around. All the way back. Feel those front legs. Work to the wall. Check in. What's happening in the pelvic floor? For those of you who are ready to deepen this, you can curl your toes under to lift your heels up and drop back onto your heels if you want. Really drawing those shoulder blades together. And for those of you even more advanced, you can drop the heels down and go. Not happening in this body. But I can show you level 2. I'm working at level 1 today because I'm working on bringing that pelvic floor up, softening the glutes, lengthening through the crown. So when you lengthen through the crown, it is physically impossible to drop out of the head. Just notice. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhaling, coming straight up, sliding those hands down, reaching back out, again connecting that third eye to the floor. This time, notice how the back side of the head can open as well. This is the back side of the thinking mind. So in the chakra medicine, there's a chakra in the front. They spin clockwise. The chakras in the back spin counterclockwise. So the energy passes all the way through the body. I'm noticing that as my third eye opens, so are all the rest of my chakras, which run along the spine. Notice as you fold over your legs and sink back into this deep forward fold, how you can feel the energy run up and down the spine. It feels different for everybody. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's warm. My vertebrae are actually moving, so I've had a couple of pops happen, which is delicious and yummy. Just notice. Inhaling, coming back up, walking those hands back up. We're not even going to do cat-cow. We're coming all the way back up. You guys all might want to turn the long way on your mat. Still standing on our knees, releasing that right foot out to the side. Inhaling the hands up overhead. We're going to first exhale to the foot, opening that side body. Feel that open. There you go. Breathing into it. And then inhaling all the way over. We're going to cartwheel all the way down onto the floor, letting that hand come directly underneath your shoulder. So right here, you've got a long line of energy of the fingers pointing up to the ceiling, all the way down to the hand. Now, if you find that this is a struggle, make sure your hand's directly under your shoulder. Pull your hand back about 2 inches. There you go. So if you feel like you're really struggling, you might have to just adjust that hand. You want to really feel the support. It's like you have a post holding you up. Now, engage that pelvic floor. Spin that heart open just a little bit. Not super far. Don't want you bending over backwards. So this is level 1. This is where we're going to work right now. We'll go to level 2 the second time we do this. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Feel the power and the strength in supporting your own weight. Now imagine the arm muscles of the arm that's supporting you grasping the bone, like it's really strong around the bone. 2 more breaths. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Now take that hand all the way up over your head. Feel that long line of energy all the way from the tips of your toes, all the way to your fingertips. Whole side lateral body opening. This gets all the quadratus lumborum, the transverse muscles, all of your belly muscles. Feel that pelvic floor be strong. Long lines of energy. Inhaling that hand back up. Engage that pelvic floor. Lift yourself straight up. Coming back in. Bringing that hand down. Dropping those. So inhaling, bringing that right hand across. Will be opposite of each other. Circling it around. And then the left hand circling it around. Coming back into camel. Lifting that heart high. Lengthening through the crown. Lifting through your pelvic floor. Bring that belly button back. Really support this heart opener. So I imagine you're wondering when we're going to twist. Not yet. Breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Working through the front of your thighs. Making sure you're lengthening through the crown. There you go. Good job. Nicely done. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, drawing yourself back up, sliding those hands down. So depending upon where you are in your experience here, your head might connect with the floor. Here you might want to stack your hands just because of wherever you're at. folding over, sinking back in the knees. Challenge yourself in the knees, except that if you have any knee injuries, you want to honor that. See if you can sink back a little lower in your tail. Let go of those gluteal muscles, the hip muscles. Let go of your neck. Nicely done. Nice deep inhale, coming back up, all the way up. Inhaling your hands up overhead. Exhaling your hands into a T position. Working your foot out, the other foot, so left foot. Dropping that hand down, we're going to go first towards the leg. Inhaling. Exhaling, breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Opening the spine to the side body. Finding your breath. Breathing into it. Inhaling that hand back up. Cartwheeling all the way down. Let that hand come right underneath your shoulder. Might have to wiggle it around to get it right. Point that toe. Lift that arm up. Lift it high. Find your breath. Now, it doesn't matter whether you look up, if you look straight, if you look down. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you open your heart to the sky. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale, bring that hand all the way over. Make it almost like you're a half of an arc. Breathing into it. Long line of energy. Feel all those muscles under your arm, around your axillary, which is the armpit. Feel them open. Feel the transverse muscles. Those are your waist muscles. Feel that pelvic floor draw up and the belly button draw back. There it is. Very nicely done. Keep breathing. Nowhere to go. Hanging out. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhaling that arm up. Lifting yourself up. Just that motion alone takes a lot of strength. Bringing that hand down. Inhaling up the left arm first. We're opposite, remember? Coming back into camel. Breathing that right one all the way across the body. Coming around. Engage that pelvic floor. Belly button to the spine. Now, feel your head come away from your shoulders. Lengthen through that crown. So rather than dropping your head back like this, lengthen and let the body come back with you. Breathing into it. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, folding over. Bringing those hands down, reaching them out. Stack those hands. Let that third eye connect to your palms. Not your palms, the back of your hand. Sinking back. Challenge those knees. Challenge those quads. The tops of your legs stretch when you sit back on your knees. Breathing into it. See if you can go just a little bit deeper. Nicely done. Hands come underneath your shoulders. We're going to inhale and we're going to come back up, spinning around. Right here. Into tabletop. Find your tabletop. Inhale, dropping down. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. On the next inhale, drop all the way down. And as you exhale, curl your toes under and exhale first into cat and then lift back into dog. Now lead them through that torso. Let go of your head. Find your dog. Notice how this feels. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. If you need to walk it out, you can. Let that tail lift high. On the next inhale, begin to walk your feet forward, coming to the front of your mat. I was kind of far off the front of my mat. So it's a nice long walk. You can also do it in one step. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Most of you know where that is in your body. But if you're unsure, same thing with the knees. Find your hip points on the front. Drop it out of the head. All the way down. Release the hands. Bring them behind you and clasp your hands behind your legs. Or you can grab the legs like this. Whatever works in your body. 2 more breaths. Inhale, release those hands. Begin to sink down, heading into Uttasana chair. So, just begin to sink first. Let's worry about the lower part of the body before we worry about the upper part. Notice that your feet are hip distance apart. Okay? Let your hands be on your quads and sink a little bit lower. So I'm still allowing everybody to kind of be folded over. What would it feel like to come up just a little bit? It changes it. Tuck that tail. Let's not worry about the arms except for being out of our shoulders. Now sink a little bit lower. Now fold forward and sink even lower. And engage that core and tuck that tail and bring that belly button and come up. And exhale, go back down. We're still squatting. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Now let's bring the arms into, coming into Uttasana, sitting straight down. We'll do 3 breaths. You can do it. I know you can. 1 more. Now 1 more. And lift all the way up. Oh. Exhaling the hands down. Nicely done. So those quads are really important in our strength of moving forward. Take a moment here in mountain pose. Just pause. Feel into it. So I'm going to have you guys just stay in mountain. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that we're going to do the next move. For those of you who maybe need a little help with balance, hands on your hips. And we're going to step our left foot straight back. You just slide your hand down your leg. Find a point to look at. For those of you who have good balance, hands up, step straight back. Find what works for you. Sink forward into this leg. Bring that pelvic floor up. As if you're working the knee, the front knee back and the back knee forward. Does that make sense? It's going to square off your pelvis. Bring that belly button to your spine. Breathe into it. Two more breaths. So, for those of you who feel good in balance, step straight forward. For those of you who want a little extra support, hand comes onto your thigh, step forward. Hands to your hips. Balance. Hands down to your side, coming into mountain. Notice the difference between the left and right. So today we're also working on a little bit of strength, apparently. Didn't know that was going to show up, but here it is. On the next inhale, stepping straight back. Again, remember, if you need help with the balance, then you can slide your hands down your leg. Here it is. If you need help with balance, if your hands are touching something, it gives the mind the impression that you're hanging on to something. So no gripping, just let the fingertips touch. Once you find your balance and a point to look at, bring those hands up. Now you can sink all the way back into that heel. You can be up on your toe, but begin to work the knees towards each other. It's an engaging of the inside of the legs, and it squares off the hips. Now draw that belly button back and sink down. Feel the strength, feel the power. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Breathing into it. sinking a little lower. I find that my left side tends to be a little weaker than my right side, and I have a tendency to come out of this. 2 more breaths. And step yourself forward. Bring your hand down if you need the balance. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling the hands down. Coming fully into mountain. So that's just an energy clearing. The sun arms clears the energy around us. Standing in mountain. What's happening in the knees? Are they spinning towards your little toes? Is your pelvic floor engaged? Is your belly button coming back to your spine? Let go of your glutes. Drop out of your shoulders. Lift through the heart. Lengthen through the crown. Nice deep breath in. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Let your intention be just to clear that energy field around you. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. You've been in a tough situation. Start doing this deep breath and swiping the energy away. Not only will people back off and clear your energy, but they might look at you like, wow, okay, what's happening here? And you know what you're doing. You're clearing your energy field. If you don't want to do the arms with it, take the deep breaths. Close your eyes. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out. You can intentionally clear energy from your field with doing nothing except deep breathing. We're going to do 3 more of these. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling down. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling it down. 1 more. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling it down. Coming back into mountain. Double check. Take a quick look. Are your feet hip distance apart? Hands on your waist. We're going to sit back as if we're going to sit into a chair. Here it is. Right here. Hands come to the heart. Sitting a little further back. Engage that pelvic floor. Engage that belly button back to your spine. Lengthen through the crown. And begin to turn to the left. As if you're going to put your heart over the left knee. And then twist into it, dropping that elbow down onto your knee. And sitting back a little deeper. So this is level 1 right here. Level 2, you can open your arms. Open your arms. Keep sitting. Keep sitting. Breathing into it. I'm working in level 1 today. Level 2 is available. Level 3, you can, if you have your arms open, lift up into your straight legs. Level 1, keep seated. 2 more breaths. Lift up off your knees. Spin back. Come back to center. Standing up. Inhaling those hands up. Clearing that energy. Turning the hands around. Opening it up. Exhaling it out. 1 more time. Inhaling. Open it up. Exhaling it away. Bringing your hands to your heart. This time we're just going to sit straight back with it. Gotta do the other side. Sit back. Inhale, engage that pelvic floor. Twist to that right leg. Twist down, sink all the way down. Again, level 2 and level 3 is available to you. Keep breathing. Sink that down just a little bit lower. Nowhere to go. Twisting it out. 2 more breaths. You can do it. Inhaling, turning that heart back to your knee, then back to the front. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, lifting up those arms. Exhaling it down center line. We're going to do a few circles here. Inhaling, circling those arms around. Exhaling it down to the heart. 1 more time. Inhaling it all the way up. Exhaling it to the heart. Pausing. Standing Anjali Mudra. Taking a break here. Check in. Feet are connected to the earth. Knees are spinning. Open to the little toe. Yes. Hips are soft, but the pelvic floor is engaged. Tailbone sliding down as the belly button slides into the spine. Lifting through the heart, dropping out of your shoulders, going long in your crown. If your eyes are closed, soften your gaze on a point that's not moving and step that left foot straight back. Arms go up. Remember, for those of you who need a little extra support, you can touch your leg instead, sinking straight down. Okay, this is our balance today. Heel comes up. So if you don't feel like your step is big enough, step a little deeper. Now sink forward. Sink down a little bit more. Feel those knees work towards each other. Feel the strength, feel the power. Inhaling through those fingertips, exhaling, flying forward. Coming down into high lunge. If you want blocks, this is a great place to grab blocks. You don't have to use them, you can if you want. Just feel the power in the lunge. Now bring that right knee back, left knee forward. As if you're going to draw your legs together, feel that pelvis square off, engage the pelvic floor, grow long in your crown. 2 more breaths. Now step that left foot forward to meet the right foot. Might take more than 1 step, takes me 2. Drop forward into forward fold. So the trick here in forward fold is to let go of the quads. Okay, let go of them. Now engage them. Now let go of them. Now engage them again. Now let go. Drop out of your head. Good. Inhaling, opening those arms wide, flying up. All the way up. Hands come into Anjali Mudra, standing. Sinking in. What are you hanging on to that you can let go of? Nowhere to go. 1 more side to do. Let that go too. Inhaling, hands going up. Find that point. Look at it, stepping straight back. I need a little help on this side because my left side tends to, in my head actually, this is a head thing for me. So notice where it's actually a strength thing or a head thing. My mind is like, oh, you can't do the left side. It's like, oh, but yes, I can. Sinking straight down. Work those knees towards each other. Engage that pelvic floor. Bring that belly button back to your spine. Feel the strength and power coming from the center of your body. Sink a little lower. Let that left knee travel to the little toe. It's not a big movement, it's more of an energetic movement. Breathing into it. Inhaling through your fingertips. This time we're diving forward. I guess we did last time too, but this time we're going to do it. Sinking down into high lunge. Again, working the knees towards each other. Deeply energetic move. Draw that pelvic floor up. Draw the belly button back. Feel the power. All of our power is in our core. That's where our groundedness really comes from. Power goes down, power comes up. 2 more breaths. If you're on the blocks, move your blocks out of the way. Step back into downward facing dog. We're going to just be in dog for 3 breaths. One more. And move straight forward into plank or modified, whatever is in you today, for 3 breaths. And then lower straight down, all the way to the floor. High floor, we're pretty happy to see you today. Lengthen through your crown, lengthen through those feet. Slide those hands forward, let the elbows come underneath your arms and come right up into Sphinx. This is the only back bend we're gonna do from here today. But let's just really make it count. So lengthen through your left leg and then lengthen through your right leg. It might be an energy movement. So notice what's happening in the spine. See how my This is the collapsed version. Roll those shoulders back and come up out of it. As you engage your pelvic floor and press your pubic bone into the mat, and the belly button goes to your spine, you will feel this power that happens in those lower chakras, 1, 2, and 3, right there. That's our foundation. That's our support. Feel your elbows work in, almost as if you're driving your elbows into your mat. And lift through your crown. Growing long. Feel those arms working. Now, imagine that you're pulling your elbows back to your body. Engage those triceps. The triceps are the muscles in the back of your arm. Now, what have you let go of? Notice if your pelvic floor is still working. So, pelvic floor is up, triceps are back, lifting through the crown, breathing. Find your breath. Nice breath. I'm so thankful you brought that back in. Little details like breathing are a good thing. Feel the heat building. Who knew that Sphinx can be such a powerful pose? It is. 2 more breaths. Last one. Lowering straight down. Stack those hands just like you did in child's pose. Drop your forehead onto it. Notice what's left in the mind. Not much. When we work like that, the mind really tends to empty. If the mind is still spinning around, open that third eye and let it all just spin right out of there. It's no longer necessary. The beauty of the earth supporting us is that anything that we think we need to hang on to, when we let go of it, it will come back to us if we truly need it. Continue breathing. On the next inhale, just roll onto your back. I'm going to spin around just because of the camera, but everybody else just flip over on your back so that you're lying on your back. So it's a really easy transition to being on our back. Walk those feet in. Okay, so we're just into lying flat on our back. We're going to start, I'm going to start with my sinuses draining. Whenever I come into this posture, my sinuses always drain. If that happens to you, you can just take a hold of your middle finger and your thumb and just put it around the bridge of your nose and kind of press back. That's an acupressure point to help drain the sinuses. Other than that, engage your pelvic floor. Feel that back flatten against the floor. Both hands come down beside your hips. We're going to just start with pelvic tilt. So as you draw up through the pelvic floor, you're going to feel the pubic bone head to the belly button and the belly button to the floor. So as you exhale, this is going to draw in. As you inhale, you're going to release it out. This is not a big movement. It's energetic. It's about 1 to 2 inches of movement. That's it. The only muscles engaged are the pelvic floor, the muscles drawing the belly button down to the spine, so your lower rectus abdominis, okay, and your diaphragm, because your diaphragm is helping you breathe. So inhaling, releasing it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. Inhaling, releasing it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. One more. Inhaling, drawing it out. Exhaling, drawing it in right here. So continue to hold it right here. We're going to release our left leg. Straighten it out. Point the toe. Flex the toe. Point the toe. So our leg is off the floor about 2 to 4 inches. Our belly button and pelvic floor is still engaged. Hands are working into the floor, out of our shoulders, lengthening into the crown, pointing and flexing our toe. And now we're going to bring that leg up, flex, down, point, up, flex, down, point, up, flex, down, point, up, flex. Remembering to breathe. You got it. We're gonna do 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And now hover it down. Foot is flexed, hover, hover, hover. And then bring it to standing and switch sides. Right foot is here. So never once have we let go of that pelvic floor. So just goes to show you that the pelvic floor is available to stay engaged if we allow it to. So we're pointing, flexing. Yeah. Point and flex. All right, here we go. Inhale, up, flex, exhale, down. Point, inhale, up, flex, exhale, down. You got it. Find your breath. Stay with it. Feel that belly button. Continue to work for the floor. I felt mine go on vacation for half a minute. Sometimes when the brain starts thinking, everything else kind of softens. Unless it's something that you're hanging on to. For me, it hangs on in my hips. We're going to do 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hover and bring it in. Bring both knees in. Both knees in. Good job. Keep the right leg in. Release that left leg. Let it hover above the floor. Everything's still engaged here. Belly button to the spine. Let go of those shoulders. Lengthen through the crown. 2 more breaths. And lower that leg down. Taking a hold of that right knee. Bring it across the body. Let that right hand go up and out into a T position. Spinning across the body. Now, you might find that you have a little resistance in the hips. Pass through that slowly and gently. We actually asked those hips to work quite a bit today. Who knew? Who knew we were going to do that? Find your breath. Feel this twist. If you want to deepen the twist, look your eyes to the fingertips of your right hand. Really soften into this twist. But let that core be supported through the low back. Engage your pelvic floor, drawing back up and out, coming back. Stop here as you draw the knee in, release it out. Little wind relieving pose, draw it in, release it out, draw it in, release it out. Open that leg the other direction. Bring it back to center and lengthen it down, drawing that left leg in. If you need to wiggle around to get flat, you can. Draw that left leg in. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Lift that right foot off the floor. Engage that pelvic floor. Feel that belly button go to the spine. So the importance of the belly button drawing back to the spine is it really supports that low back. Plus it creates a nice concave rectus abdominis. It draws that strong belly in. 2 more breaths. Last one, lowering it down. Release that knee across the body, all the way across. Opening that left arm. This side might be different than the other side. Just notice. Breathing into it. Reveling in this delicious twist. Twisting is delicious. It wrings out everything we've done. Engaging, inhaling, bringing that knee back in. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. One more time. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Open it just the other way. Drop back to center. Release that foot down, all the way down. Take a minute and just jiggle. So when you jiggle, you can do your knees, you can rock your feet, which is another form of jiggling, and just let the body kind of feel the movement, the lift. And then find yourself coming into stillness and ask yourself, do I need my feet in standing for Shavasana? Or perhaps I need a blanket to hold the heat? Or perhaps I'm just ready to completely soften into the floor. Notice what it is your body calls for. And then feel your back body completely release to the floor. And the mind begins to slip away, not here, not there. All through the night, we rest, soften, drift to the place of no awareness. Integrating the day, integrating our life. When awakeness arrives, greet it as an old friend. Allow the joy to rush through. With joy comes light. Even on days when things are imagined, feel the joy. Experience the light. Anytime, day or night. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Really bring back yourself to now. And as you're ready, roll to your side. Pressing up in its time, back into easy pose. We'll end with one Om, taking a nice deep breath in. Namaste.
Namaste.